Hello everyone, this is the Wicked Uncle, passage number 57. Erant olim in Thessalia duo fratres. There were once in Thessaly two brothers, quorum, of which one Pelias, the other was being called Apellabato. You'll notice there is an imperfect passive ending. So, of which one was called Aeson, the other Pelias. Aeson had held the kingdom primo at first, but after a few years, Pelias, adductus, having been led on, having been encouraged, perfect passive participle there, adductus, but, But after a few years, Pelias, having been led on, spurred on by envy of the kingdom, non modo, not only expelled fratrem suum, his own brother, sed etiam, but even non modo sed etiam, not only expelled his own brother, but he even had it in mind interficere to kill Jason, the son of Aeson. Tamen, however, quidam, lots of people forget that little pronoun there, a certain or certain. However, certain from the friends of Aeson, ubi, when they cognoverunt, when they learnt of the plan of Pelias, they decided, eripere, to snatch the boy from tanto periculo, from such danger. Igitur, therefore, time when ablative, twab, at night, they took Jason from the city, and when, postero die, on the next day, they redescent, they had returned to the king, cum redescent, pluperfect subjunctive, dealing, Andrew, known with a pluperfect subjunctive in a temporal clause. They renuntiaverunt. They announced to him the boy to be dead. Now, we haven't met this yet, but literally they announced puerum, accusative, the boy, mortuum esse, to be dead. That's something called the indirect statement that takes the form of an accusative infinitive. They announced the boy to be dead. Pelias, cum hoc audiviset. When he had heard this, again, Andrew, we have a pluperfect subjunctive in a temporal clause. When he had heard this, etsi, as if he was feeling great joy, however, he praebuit, etsi, even though he was revera, even though, in truth, he percipiebat, he was experiencing great joy, he tamen, however, he praebuit, he showed or gave the speciem, he gave the appearance doloris of sadness, and he quaesiuit, and he asked quae causa esset, and he asked what was the cause, quae, an interrogative word there, quae esset, and he asked what was the cause of the mortis, of the death. And he asked what was the cause of the death. We have there, as we've learnt recently, an indirect question. The indirect question here, the original verb, is a secondary tense, it's the perfect tense. Then we have the question here, and it is a question about the present, therefore it is the imperfect subjunctive as we've been looking at recently. Illi autem. They, however, cum. I think this is actually, it looks like a temporal clause, but I think it's actually something that we're going to learn later on this year. I think it's actually something called a causal clause. Since they, is it since, or maybe it might even be something called a concessive clause, although they understood well his falsum dolorem, and this is again following a verb of saying or thinking or believing, we have an accusative. They understood the dolorem eos. They understood his pain to be false. They finxerunt. They made up nescio quam. I know not what story about the death of the boy. Very well done, and I will see you all on Tuesday when you will have marked this and put down what you're going to do differently next time. Have a lovely weekend, everybody.